Hi everyone, and welcome to Flipping Heck Business, Flip Learning for AQA A Level Business Studies. Now this is video number 11 from Unit 3, and this is the final video in the decision making to improve marketing performance. So here we're going to be looking at promotion and the promotional mix. So what do you need to know? So really it's the key methods of promotion, link between promotion and the rest of the marketing mix, influences on promotional methods, and analyzing promotional decisions. So if you're answering any of the larger questions, certainly essay questions, then you want to be looking at how you can actually link this with those questions. So promotion links very closely with the product life cycle, so you need to know exactly where you're talking, where your promotions should be really sort of focused with regards to the life cycle. It's linked with branding, it's linked with corporate social responsibility, which is a video that will be coming soon, technological change, sales forecasting, and budgeting as well. Both of those are in the finance unit. So there will be videos coming on a few of these, but these are the ones that you want to be talking about. So if you had a 25 mark question, try and include some of this into your question as well. So promotion itself, now we call this kind of the noisy P. It's the element of the marketing mix which is often most visible. So it's the one that you're going to see. I mean, it's TV adverts, it's personal selling, talking to people, it's the leaflets that you get through the door, it's the banners that appear on YouTube adverts. So it's the element that informs the customer that we have a product and they want it, and it tells them about the product as well. So things like features, benefits, price. And then promotion is all about just businesses communicating with their customers. Although it has got to be, you've got to be a bit careful, because some argue that promotion is just used to persuade us to buy things we may not necessarily need. Now I'm sure that all of you can think of something that you have bought that you didn't actually need. So why do we promote? So there's all sorts of reasons, things like increasing sales, attracting new customers, encouraging loyalty, encouraging trials, create awareness, just so that people know about your product. You don't necessarily have to be just searching for the sales. To inform people about your product, to remind potential customers that you're still there, reassure new customers that if they come to you, they'll be able to get the product that they want and need. It could be that it's changing the attitude, so the idea about maybe their image has been tarnished, or they want to change something along those lines. Then it could just be that they're creating an image in the first place, launching a new product, positioning and repositioning the product, encouraging brand switching, and to support a distribution channel, so to actually encourage people to go and use retailers. The main aims of promotion, however, are that it's to ensure that customers are aware of the existence and positioning of your product. So remember, we've looked at positioning already, so they need to be able to go, right, okay, well, is it high end, is it low end, right? If it went onto a market map, where would it actually fall? And then promotion is also used to persuade customers that the product is better than competing products, and to remind customers why they may want to buy it. So if you've not bought a particular product, or if you are you're maybe switching brands. So if you look at, people are now being reminded that Samsung are top quality because of just this time of years when the Samsung Galaxy has come out. But of course, over summer we've got the iPhone will be coming out. So again, they'll be doing a lot more promotion around there to try and swing people to come back to them. So when we talk about promotion, we talk about the promotional mix. Now this is a series of series of methods of promotion that are usually used. Now similar to the marketing mix, where you would have all of them kind of working together, the promotional mix is also where you try and get all your different areas working together. So advertising, instead, no company would just come along and go, right, well, we're just going to do a TV advert, that's it. It would be advertising, it would be sales promotion, it would be personal selling, some sort of public relations in their sponsorship, and direct marketing as well. And they've all got to work together. Now, not necessarily going to use all of them, but the ones that you do use, they've got to be cohesive, they've got to be consistent, and they've got to actually work together to give an overall promotional effect. So the key factors in influencing promotional decisions and strategy are the stages in the product lifecycle. So like we said, this does link to product lifecycle. So if you're at the growth stage, oh sorry, if you're at the research and development stage just before release, then you're going to want a lot of heavy promotion, like sort of maybe some teaser adverts, maybe not quite telling people what they're getting yet. Then you release the product, and you're in the introduction stage, so you're going to want to maybe the product's out, people know about it, tell them the benefits of it. Then we've got growth, where we are developing a lot more sales, really can sort of maybe ease back a little bit if like people are already buying, like reduce down some of your costs, try and get them paid off. Then you hit your maturity stage, and you become a cash cow really, and therefore you're going to be getting quite a lot of product. Everybody's kind of buying it already. You don't need to overly advertise it, although you may want to add a product extension, which could be over like marketing again to try and prolong its life cycle. But then we get to decline, and then you can kind of, like I said, you can either add on an extension process, in which case bring out flavors, etc., or like you can just sort of let the product die as the next product comes in. It depends on the nature of the product. So what information do customers require before they actually buy? Are they well clued into it? Is it something like the new smartphones that are coming out, which are foldable? Well, people are going to want to know about those. But if it's something like Bold or Ariel, like just laundry detergent, then they're probably going to already know it. Competition. So what are the rivals doing? What are the promotional methods that are traditionally effective in the market itself? Like perfume adverts all tend to follow a very similar sort of trend of having like something a little bit weird being shown, because obviously you can't actually show the effect of the smell. But are any companies coming along and doing something a little bit different that might make them noticed more? Marketing objectives and budget. So, what does the promotion need to actually achieve? Are you looking for awareness? Are you looking for sales? And then how much can the firm actually afford? A big multinational company like Procter & Gamble with multiple brands is probably going to be able to put an awful lot of money into this kind of promotion. Whereas like a local takeaway would have to sort of really rein it in. They wouldn't be able to do TV. They might do radio, but they would probably like sort of stick to a bit of direct marketing, direct mailing, just to people in the local area, and then maybe something online as well by using one of the takeaway services like Uber Eats. And then you've got the target market. So you've got to find the appropriate way to reach the target market. So again, if you're putting on something that is designed for young people, then you might not put it on during Coronation Street. Like you would have to choose which programs, which adverts you're going to use. Are you even going to use TV? Would you just stick with YouTube? An awful lot of students, and you guys will agree with me, don't sit there and watch TV specifically. They're tending to stream stuff. So where would you be able to actually advertise on that? How much is Netflix going to charge to get an advert in there as well? Now, when we're looking at the promotional mix, one of the first things we look at is advertising. This is typically what people think of when they think of like advertising for any kind of promotion, is advertising. Well, this is just one section, so please don't get like wrapped up in it. You need to actually be able to sit back, go, okay, so there are other areas. So paid for communication. So many different like media. So you've got TV, radio, newspapers, magazines. You can do it online. You can do it through social media. You can do it through cinemas. You can do it through billboards. There's all sorts of ways. I'm sure that you can find a few more ways. The consumers are subjected to many advertising messages each day. So this can actually be a little bit of a difficulty, because you kind of get bombarded with all this information. You're not always going to be paying attention to all of it. Then you've got mass market advertising. Now this is usually the way that it is done. If you've got a big product, if you're a big company, or you've got a product that like you're trying to get out to everyone, then you would just sort of put it out there. Thing is though, that if you've got, if single adverts can cost anywhere between 30 seconds can be £1,000 up to 50, 60,000 pound, or even if you were looking for something in like say the Super Bowl, you could be looking at 50 million for a 30-second advert. So if you wanted to just put one advert out, the likelihood of it being seen is very low. So you've got to be hitting 20 or 30, 40, 50 messages a day just to try and make sure that you're blanket hitting all of your target market. So the advantages tend to be that there is a wide coverage. You hit a lot of your target market. You get a lot of people. You've got a lot of control over the message as well. I mean, like, you're the one who's putting it out there. Repetition, sorry, means that the message can be communicated effectively. So people are actually going to like see it and they'll remember the advert because they're seeing it over and over and over again. And then it can be effective for building brand awareness and loyalty. So the more that people see a product, the better they feel that it is doing, and therefore they want to be involved. They want to be a part of it. Disadvantages, however, is that it is often very, very expensive. I mean, like, never mind like just putting the advert out there, you've got all your production costs, etc. as well. It's a bit impersonal as well. I mean, like, you're just sort of going, right, hey, here's a advert, enjoy, as opposed to like personal selling or something where you're getting a one-to-one experience. It's only one-way communication. You don't get much feedback back, and then it lacks flexibility. So if all of a sudden you need to put a offer on, you've got to like really do that a few weeks in advance. And it gives you a limited ability to actually close a sale. So you can't just go, right, okay, great, here's the advert, buy it, because people won't be able to be there to actually be influenced by you. Next, we've got personal selling. Now, this is promotion on a person-to-person basis, so it's two-way communication. Right? It's you talking to someone else, meeting with potential customers to close a sale. So it could be by telephone, it could be at meetings, in retail outlets, or it could be by knocking on doors. So those people who come around, the Skywalkers who are trying to sell you Sky TV from door to door, give them a few minutes if you are looking for a deal. But they, sorry, I used to do it, but they are actually the people who are going to try and like actually sell that item to you. Now, they are very, very good because they can actually answer your questions for you. So it's kind of highly priced, it's low volume, and it's highly technical products that tend to sort of rely on personal selling. So something that may or may not require a bit of explanation. So we've got advantages. So high customer attention, you've got their full attention. The message is customized. I can answer any questions that you might have. There's loads of interactivity, and you can also use a persuasive impact. So people putting the fear of loss into people. Then, you know, what we've been doing for a lot of your neighbors, giving them a sense of community. The potential for developing a relationship as well. So it could be that, like, you know, over time, if it's something that you've got to keep going back to, people will know each other's names. So think of regulars in pubs or regulars in betting shops. It's adaptable, so they can kind of change it on the spot, and there's an opportunity to close that sale. So ABC, always be closing, right? So that means that the worker could go, right, okay, well done and everything, but whose name do you want to sign this up in? Me, your dogs, your sisters, and then you can kind of get that ball rolling where they will make the sale. So disadvantages are that it is a high cost. I mean, like, you have to pay these people to actually go out and do that for you. So it's very labor intensive. We are looking for a lot of people who will be working as opposed to it being automated. It can, so again, expensive, and it can only reach a limited number. I mean, like, as a Skywalker myself, I used to only be able to talk to about 100 people a day if I was lucky, and I would try and get 2 sales out of that. So 100 people a day is not a huge amount of people, but yet it's still worth money to these companies. So next one is sales promotion. So here we're talking about tactical point of sale material and other incentives designed to stimulate purchase. So think free gifts, point of sale display, buy one get one free, bog off, my favorite one. Merchandising, trade in offers, so you can trade in your car and get this. Now, these are very short-term incentives just to sort of increase sales, and usually some promotions are aimed at consumers, so others are aimed at intermediaries or like a sales force. So it could be that, like, you know, it might be aimed at your consumer in Asda, but it could actually be that, right, you know, if the wholesale will take it, then we'll give you like 20% off if you buy a certain amount of product. Now, the advantage is that it's very effective at achieving quick boosts to sales. So it is very, very good for that. I mean, like, if you look at Pringles again, 50% off, people buy them. right? And it encourages customers to trial a product or switch brands. So it could be that like, well, actually this is cheaper this month, well, we'll go for this. This is cheaper this month, we'll go for that. So disadvantages are that its sales may affect, it may only be short term. I mean, like your customer comes to expect or anticipate further promotion, so they're always waiting for that promotion as opposed to buying your product when it's at full price. And it may damage your image if you're always seen as being like cheap and always having sales on. So like DFS with their closing down sale, which has been going on for years now. And I mean, like, also, you've got to make sure that you are actually like putting a decent enough sale out there. You can see at the bottom here. So shelled pistachios at $6.99. Regular price is $6.99, saving 0%. Yeah, I don't think anyone's really going to be that interested in it, but just by putting sale might actually make people a little bit more attracted. So public relations is the next bit. So PR. Public relation activities are those that can create goodwill towards an individual business or cause or product. So advertising is saying you're good. PR is getting someone else to do it for you. So the main aims of PR is to achieve favourable publicity about the business. So if something has happened that is bad, you've got to put a spin on it. Right? It could be that it's to build the image and reputation of the business and its products, particularly amongst its customers. So again, like if you're putting on any kind of like festival event or anything like that, then you might want to shout about it. And it's to communicate effectively with customers and other stakeholders. So typical activities are things like promoting new products, enhancing public awareness of the actual brand, projecting a business image so that like people know, okay, so what is this company all about? Promote social responsibility. This is particularly keen for people regarding environmental affairs at the moment. Projecting business as a good employer, and obtain favourable products or reviews or recommendations. I mean, like there's all sorts of awards that companies get, and when they do, they shout about it. Now, PR with sponsorship usually takes place when a payment for an event, person, organisation is given in return for some consideration of benefit. So it could be a specialised form of public relations, basically. Like if you are sponsoring someone, so you've got football are always sponsored. We've got the Six Nations here. It could be that you're sponsoring an individual. The lottery sponsors the Team GB. Right? Now, sponsorship usually benefits both sides because it could be that they're actually getting money to be able to go forward. I mean, like one of the reasons that UK does so well in sports in the Olympics is because Team GB is sponsored by the lottery and they get a lot of money, which allows them to concentrate on that without having to have a second job. And not every country does that. Next one, direct marketing, is promotional material directed through mail, email, social media, or phone to individuals or businesses. So it's all that spam that you get, all the letters you get through the door, and it is directed that way. So it allows a business to generate a specific response from targeted groups of customers, so they can choose who they are sending this product to. It allows a business to focus on several marketing objectives, so things like increasing sales to existing customers. If you've already got all their details, well, why wouldn't you send them adverts? Building customer loyalty, re-establishing lapsed customer relations. We've seen that you haven't ordered from us in a while. Is there anything we can offer you? You don't want to do the subscription anymore? Well, how about if we knock 10% off your next order? And it's all about generating their new business. Now, the advantages for this are that it is focus limited resources on targeted population. Right? So if you're not a big company, you might be able to get your sales by going direct to the people you already know. It can personalize the marketing message so that you can, put their names in, find out what they actually want. Relatively easy to measure response and success because you can see, well, okay, they used their code to actually like purchase this item. Easy to test different marketing messages, so you can send it to certain people and see what they say. And then it is cost effective if the customer database is well managed. If you've got big amounts of data that you can use and it's well looked after, then it's very, very simple to set up. Disadvantages, however, are that the response rates vary enormously. So some people check their emails regularly, some people just sort of see it as more spam. And especially you can get a negative image then from junk mail. Especially if you are if you're like me, I've got my own email set up that is just for junk mail, and it's currently got about 50,000 emails in. I will never look at it. And then databases are expensive to maintain and keep accurate as well. Think about like they need to keep up with the Data Protection Act and all the other legislation that like regarding people's data. Right, so the integrated marketing mix. So when we're talking about like the marketing mix, we want everything to come together. So all 7Ps working together, all of the promotional mix working together. It creates a coherent brand image. It's not just one and not the others. Now this links to the product lifecycle. So each stage will need a different marketing, price, features, place, people, training. Everything needs to change, and it will always link through. And then it depends on the product type. So have we got premium versus value, etc., etc. So you need to look and go, right, okay, so what would the marketing mix be around this product? And then decide, how are we going to do it? Are we going to concentrate more on price, but we can't neglect all the other areas as well? And that's what it's all about. Now, in a lot of your questions, you will get a question on integrated marketing mix. So you need to have the sort of wherewithal to know everything about the 7Ps. Right, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and the first video in Unit 3 will be following extremely shortly. So, have a good day.